An amazing day, everyone. I'm Rizalyn Calimlim Rosales from the Faculty of Information and Communication Studies here at the University of the Philippines Open University. So, we are now moving on to this segment of Module 10, the broadcast production process. In earlier videos, a discussion was held on the planning stages of radio production. So, if you haven't seen earlier videos, I highly recommend checking them out first. So, for today, we'll dive into two essential components that contribute to a radio production's success. So, these are pre-testing and campaigning for listenership. So you may be asking, what is pre-testing? So according to Robert Runwin de Chong of RNTC, pre-testing is the process of testing informational materials with a target audience before full rollout. So why is pre-testing important, you may ask? Pre-testing helps answer critical questions. So these are, is the message clear? Are the materials appropriate? Does it capture attention? Is it culturally sensitive? By pre-testing, we avoid costly mistakes and ensure our content is effective before it goes live. So, where does this fit in the production stages? Well, it fits somewhere between scripting or recording and um, airing or actual broadcasting proper. So, how do we do pre-testing? There are several ways to pre-test. So, we have listed here individual interviews, face-to-face with the target audience, focused group discussions, surveys, personal visit, readability assessment. So, the two most common pre-testing methods are individual interviews and focused group discussions. So, while these two are the most common, we also use modern tools like online platforms that would allow us to gather feedback faster and more accurately. So even small scale pretests can yield valuable insights. So what happens during pretesting? So during pretesting, we select the target audience, a small representative of groups from the intended listenerships. So these groups are then presented with the materials. These are the draft versions of the radio content, such as the scripts, audio recordings, jingles, radio dramas, or segments. So these participants are asked questions would be um, that would help refine our materials. So we ask them, is the message clear? Do you understand it? Is it engaging? Does it catch your attention? Is it appropriate? Um, all those kinds of things. So we use these methods to present these materials, and then when we get the responses, we analyze them to identify the confusing or unclear parts, those sensitivities that are we need to remove, the responses and the suggestions for improvement. So based on the feedback, we revise the materials, we adjust the tone, the pacing, we simplify the language or remove the technical terms, we replace music, or we translate the content into more understandable language. So revised materials may undergo a second round of pretesting, or it may go a multiple rounds of pretesting before it gets approved or for production and airing. So once your radio program is ready for broadcast, the next crucial step is to build anticipation and ensure that your target audience knows about it. So this is where campaigning for listenership comes in. So campaigning for listenership. Why do we campaign for listenership? Well, the purpose is to inform the audience that a program exists or is about to launch. So we want to generate interest and excitement, and we want to maximize the reach and engagement during the actual airing. So campaigning for listenership helps us to achieve these purposes. So let's look at the methods or campaign strategies. So for traditional campaign strategies, there is radio plugs. These are short promotional segments aired before the program. They distribute posters and flyers. There are public announcements, usually in small barangays. And sometimes the personnel would do personal visits to campaign for their programs. So when modern strategies go beyond tradition, so they make use of one of the most powerful tool in today's current environment, which is the social media. So they have social media campaigns that would be like countdowns, teasers, or they do contests and giveaways. Sometimes they would join local events to promote their programs or even collaborate with influencers or celebrities. So let's take Land Bank's radio program, Balitang Land Bank RMN. So they would be posting social media posters and teasers are posted days or weeks before airing. And then this would have the branded visual. It would highlight the topic, who the guests are, and the airing schedule. So this would be ensure that listeners are aware, curious, and ready to tune in. So the target audience for the Balitang Land Bank would be more on the smaller Filipino audience. So they use the Tagalog for their language, and then they would also have it for a specific region. That would be, for example, here they would be joined by Mr. Eric Hanalino from Opol Misamis Oriental, an example of a traditional farmer. So they would be campaigning here using their social media to encourage people to listen to the scheduled program on May 20. So I'll give you some of the best practices for campaigning. So, we are said to want to start early. You want to begin promotions at least a week before airing, and you want to use multiple channels. You can combine radio, print, and digital platforms. You also want to tailor your message. You want to speak the language of your audience, and not just literally. And it's also culturally. So, if your audience is from uses a specific dialect, you want to use that to interact or to encourage them to listen to you. And also, you want to track engagements. So, use metrics like reach, shares, and feedback to refine future campaigns. So, campaigning isn't just about promotion, it's about connection. It ensures that your program doesn't just exist, but is heard, remembered, and acted upon. So, to wrap it all up, pre-testing and campaigning are not just steps in the broadcast production process. They are strategic tools that shape how your message is received. By investing in these stages, we create radio content that informs, inspires, and connects with the people who matter most, our listeners. So, let me share here links of informational materials that you could check it out or read more on pre-testing and campaigning for listenership. So, thank you for joining me in this module. Stay curious and keep exploring the fascinating world of radio broadcasting. Thank you.